One thing I will mention is it's always good to try new things. Like, we're always trying new stuff, it seems like. When I first started, the content might not have been super different than it is now, but there's definitely, like, some big differences.
You're listening to the Blacktop Banter podcast, the premier podcast in the asphalt industry, made for contractors with contractors.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Blacktop Banter. And we've been mixing it up a little bit here and there. Sometimes we're having traditional guys on. I'm guessing you guys heard Chris Tammany from Paving up in New Hampshire lately, who admittedly by himself is an old school guy trying to do the new school ways and teach us, some of the younger guys, what we're doing. But there's stuff that us younger guys can teach as well. And my guest today, I think, is embodying that. So if you have been on Instagram, and whether you've been watching our stories or you've been watching our guests post on TikTok, Instagram, wherever, it is undeniably unique because I feel like I'm back in gym class, in school, or my grandpa's around because I get yelled at every time about how great the job is going in. It's immaculate. It's on fire today. You have to be able to multitask. You can loop. You can shovel. You had to be able to drive the paver and control it at the other time and tell the dump truck to back up, and we're going in. The job's looking the best it's ever looked in its entire life. If you understand that, you know I'm talking about Michael and the team at Michael's Paving. How you guys doing?
Woo!
Yeah. So we got Michael on. He's the owner at Michael's Paving. We got Seth, the media man, who's making Michael look and sound fantastic as well. And it's always nice to get a breath of fresh air on the media side. I've always said that I don't think that I'm the best one to do the social media and make it fun and exciting and everything, but I was the first one to do it for the most part. That's why I have the attention I have. But I enjoy seeing guys that I think do it really, really well and are really unique. And you guys are pulling that off over there.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
So let's jump in.
You do a great job too.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, everybody's got their own flavor. That's what I like. Like, there might be 10 guys that do it really well, and they're all unique. They all have their own unique flavor, their own unique spin, but we don't know that unless people give it a shot. And we were kind of talking a little bit off air, Michael. Like, for me, I was really nervous. Like, you know, when I first did, I was like, man, I don't know. But you have to do it, right?
Well, I was not nervous. Like, I was just scared of being made fun of, which is going on. But it don't affect me that much as it used to do. Because there are so many of them out there, they're crazy.
Yeah. Well, when I first did it, I was so scared about being made fun of or being looked at like a weirdo. I didn't come out of the house for 2 weeks, man. Like, I was in the house for 2 weeks, and there was jobs to do. I just kept calling. I was like, yeah, it looks like it's going to rain today. And the sun is like beaming. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I seen there's like a 3% chance. So I'm not going to come out. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Because I was so nervous. I was like, dude, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I watched Gary Vee. He was like, whoever does this is going to win. And if you don't do it, you're going to die. And I was already not doing so hot on business-wise. Like, I was doing newspapers, phone books, you know, all that type of stuff. And it wasn't popping off as good as I would hope the phone would be ringing. Now I could go knock a door and get a job and it would work, but it wasn't steady enough to grow a business off of. But I knew I had to do it. And when I did it, finally, of course I had people that were like, what the hell are you doing? But then I had a couple guys who was like, dang, I like that. Like, oh, yeah, I like being able to watch you do your stuff and show what it is. Pretty soon the phone started ringing. I was like, oh, this is how you're supposed to do it. So it's cool to see you guys doing it. I want to know real quick. I was asking ages. Seth, 23. Michael, 22.
22. Feeling 22, Taylor.
I know, man. I know. And then I was asking a little bit, your brother, I see him on there. The Prodigy. Is that right? He's the Prodigy?
He's the Prodigy.
Yep,
he's the best, baby.
Yeah. He is 21 years old and the best. I like it.
18. He's
he's 18? Get out.
Yeah, he's just 18. He's a Prodigy.
Dang. Yeah, he is a Prodigy.
I don't know if you can call him that now because he's 18, but he's an adult now. But.
Well, we can. There's a lot of it.
That's his nickname.
We'll always consider him an Asphalt Prodigy.
Yeah, we better get some T-shirts made that says the Prodigy on it. I want one of the bad boys. So that's the kind of the fun that I see, right? We know that paving, for the most part, is a family business. Anybody we've had on, most of the time their sons are in it or their family's involved in it or it's a generational thing. I come from that. My grandfather paved. My dad, he did paving and seal coating. I do seal coating and paving. My son does seal coating and line striping. He's 12. Will he still do it? Probably. Like, that's just the way this goes. Like, especially in our industry, no matter where you come from, it's a family thing most of the time from one to the other. So how did Michael's paving start?
Well, my great-grandfather started, I believe, in like the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really don't know much about it. He started, wasn't big. Then my grandfather expanded off of that and actually made it good.
Okay.
And then my father came in, and then after my father came in, he split it off from my grandfather, I believe, in the 1980s. They were just button heads, probably wanted to go on his own, basically.
Yeah,
Dad started in
that's common for us.
1989.
Mm-hmm.
My dad started Michael's Paving.
Okay.
And then after that, in 2018, I believe around then, he had a heart attack.
Oh.
He's still alive.
Okay.
He's still alive, but he had a heart attack.
You put the big boy shoes on. Michael put the big boy shoes on. 17,
18. I just turned 18, actually.
Dang,
so it could have been 2019 around that time.
Yep.
I just turned 18. I graduated high school. I had my realtor's license, my CDLs. I was all like happy. Yep. And then he had a heart attack by shoveling like a little measly like dirt pile.
Dang, man.
Right with me. I was with him like side by side. He had a heart, called the ambulance. He almost died. He had the Widowmaker.
Man, really?
And then after that, the ambulance came, and then God spoke to me. It said the Fury quote. I got it. I got it on my phone.
I'm going to say
Hold
you better.
on, I got to say this. Isaiah 6:8. And then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" And I said, "Here I am. Send me." Yeah. And that spoke to me. I heard it all Fury. It's a Fury quote. Yeah. But that spoke to me in that way in that moment, because I had to step up that time. Some big boy shoes. Because I was a little kid, little punk kid, I'll say. Yeah. 18 years old, just graduated. Yeah. Daddy's money. I was enjoying it. Yeah, and then he went down, and I had to step up. I'd done it all my life, so I had to do it. I was going to Temple College, and then then I had to do that.
Seth, I'm guessing you don't have to tell Michael to speak up ever.
No, absolutely not. He knows what to do.
Cool. Well, the thing is, that's not an uncommon thing, Michael. I'm guessing you were raised in the business, right?
Right.
My son is. I was, right? I went to seal coating with my uncle when I was 10, and then 12, and then went roofing with my other uncle for a while, and then went back paving with my other uncle and whatnot. And that's a common thing. So to be honest with you, when people hear that and they're like, "Oh, 18 and you had to take it on," they don't realize we've already been paving and sealing and everything since we were 5 years old. So we done got 10 years under our belt. We know what to do and how to get things rolling and stuff. But still, at the same time, 18, you thinking, I'm going to be able to do what I want, skate, chill, buy myself a nice truck, cruise around, go to work here and there, and then that happens to your dad. But that's the responsibility we take on. So your dad's name's Michael?
Yeah, he's Mike. I'm Mike Jr.
Perfect. I figured when he called it Michael's Paving and started it before you were born.
It used to be Mike's Paving.
Oh, okay.
And then something happened. He went to Michael's.
All right, cool. Yeah, it was more formal. See, Michael's is more formal.
I guess it just sounds better. I like it.
So let me talk to Seth a little bit, because Seth, you're dabbling in an area that not a lot of people dabble in, that we have to dabble in quite a bit here at Blacktop Banter. And that's content strategy, which is tough, because everybody is making content now of some way, shape, or form. But you guys have done it in a unique way. Let us in on that a little bit behind the secret. You ain't got to let all your secrets out, but let us know a little bit about the strategy and what you guys do.
Yeah. So the biggest thing for our content strategy is making sort of personality-driven content, because for us, and we're very much a local business, we will travel for work if need be, but we're very much a local business, and it's important to us to build trust with the community. Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to have a more personality-driven sort of content.
Okay.
And, it's really worked. Aside from that, we are very consistent with the content we put out. We try to put out at least, one piece of content every day. might miss a day here and there if it's a long filming day.
You couldn't tell me, dude. There's no way you could tell me that. I see your shit every day, multiple times.
Yeah,
so
we try to post every single day at least, which has helped us because, and I think it could help any other asphalt account really, because we've grown. I mean, Instagram, I want to say it was either like 200, 400 followers. We're about like 1,600 right now.
Yeah.
Less than a year. I started in May.
Yeah. So that's 8x. I was gonna say that's 8x or more.
Yeah. YouTube was the same story.
Yep. Yeah, you guys are catching us on YouTube. I was checking it out today.
Best.
Yeah, basically. Listen, I don't doubt anything at Michael's is the best. The paver's the best. The media guy's the best. You know, the Prodigy's the best.
I'm not kidding you. 10x the freaking.
I know, man. I know.
But,
it's true.
One thing I will mention is it's always good to try new things. Like, we're always trying new stuff, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like when I first started, the content might not have been super different than it is now, but there's definitely like some big differences if you go back to our first stuff and our new stuff. So it might take time to find the kind of content that you really like to make. But once you find it, it's important you stick with it and, you know, just see what the reception is amongst the community.
I'm going to be honest with you. Did you have to coach Michael at all, or were you just like, dude, the way Michael is going to hit if I do it this way, if I show it this way?
I think we've honestly done a lot of it together. Like, we'll give each other opinions, but like for the most part, we've just kind of grown into it. I think like
it's just happened.
It's taken, like we haven't really had like a sit down like we should do this. It's just like small things we've tweaked here and there. And sometimes he's given me good advice on like things for content.
I'm guessing it's your sweatshirt choices. He's like, oh yeah, that sweatshirt's the best. The one he's got on right now. Yeah. So, but Michael, you're just this way. This is just your personality, and he's catching it.
I'm a loud guy.
Off camera, like sometimes it's even more funny off camera.
Oh, I'm sure it is. He ain't completely come out of his shell yet, where he believes that if he says whatever, it'll get golden. I've done that. Let me tell you, it's not always true, but it sure does feel good. Like you're like, dude, I can do anything. I can whatever I got the Midas touch, boys. Whatever I say is gonna be golden. And then like that shit falls flat sometimes, and everybody looks at me a little side eye. I was like, well, next time it'll hit, because I ain't stopping. We're gonna have some fun. So you guys look like you're having a blast out there on the jobs, because I almost forget you're paving until I see like Angel. Right. Is it Angel drive the paver? Is that right?
Angie.
Yeah. So he's like, Angie's on the paver. He's putting it in. The Prodigy's rolling it. I'm looping and shoveling at the same time. Like, I forget almost that you guys are putting Blacktop in, because I'm getting the play-by-play of the job going in, because let's be honest, the jobs when they're done, they look immaculate.
They're immaculate.
They're immaculate. They're the best. I'm telling you, you got the hottest mix, the best mix.
That's right.
You were telling me what I watched one the other day. You were grading the driveway, and they're doing an immaculate job grading it, and then that's going to set up the base for an immaculate paving job going in. And we're running it. We're doing an overlay today, 2 inches. I seen that video. That was a fun one. Like, I'm a fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a fan.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
When I see that stuff, like that, you know, there's a lot of content out there. We really try to, a lot of the content creators that I enjoy become content creators here for us at Blacktop Banter. They become sponsored content creators. And that's because I just figured, dude, if I love it, everybody else is loving it. And the chances are, when you guys, like Seth was just talking about, when you see your numbers going up and different things, you're like, oh, dude, they do like it. Like, people do like that. They're enjoying what we're doing. So you've been talking about the success of, doing 10X and whatnot on your guys' numbers, but what has it parlayed to? Have you seen it parlay over into the actual business itself as far as the phone ringing and stuff, Michael?
Well, listen, we've been pretty good on that before we done. The reason I started doing this is kind of because I was kind of bored.
There we go.
Coming in, and I was just bored.
Yeah.
So he calls me up, my buddy from school. He says, yo, I got a great idea. Let's make this into content.
Actually, this is kind of a funny story of how I started working for him. Because I didn't come from this space at all.
Sure.
I
I can tell by the khakis. Michael's got black pants on, which means he can get sealer or asphalt on them, and they're going to be good still. And you got the things that looks like somebody throwing mud on the sheets. So when you're holding the camera, though, you're at low risk. I'm going to be honest with you. So I'll give you a pass on that.
Well,
but tell us.
Him in it. I try to push him in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
A couple burns.
Yeah, give me the
couple burns.
Yeah, you have to, dude. That's why I got all these tats up here. I got burns all the way up here, man. So. Tell us a little bit about the story, Seth, about how you came to work.
So I had just graduated. It was that week I graduated from Penn State with a marketing degree or business administration degree.
Now it's making sense. Yeah, now it's making sense. Okay.
I had and it's a very competitive job market. But aside from that, I had just got back from getting lunch or something at my house, and he was paving a driveway in my neighborhood, and he just drove by and was like, "Hey, Seth, we graduated from high school together. We haven't seen each other in so long."
So you guys weren't connected. You weren't connected still, in touch with each other all the time?
Not really. We weren't in constant contact.
We knew of each other.
But we knew each other. Yeah, we used to play video games with each other in high school and whatnot.
Okay.
But
did you know that he was doing marketing and whatnot, Michael?
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I kind of knew because I follow him on Instagram. He would post cool stuff, and I was like, "Hey, this guy knows some stuff."
Yeah, you guys got a story similar to me and Chris. Chris and I, since high school, we didn't talk to each other, and then as Blacktop Banter grew, I kept an eye on Chris kind of through social media, and I was like, "Dude, I think this guy could do what I need to get done here." And next thing I know, I asked him to come stop by here, and he's like, "Dang, this would be fun." All right, cool, I'm in. And here we are. So keep going with the story, though. Michael stopped by. He was paving in the area. I'm incredibly proud of the Blacktop Banter Edition seal coating unit produced in partnership with KM International and available in both 550 and 700-gallon versions. Custom built on the same frame as their bulletproof hot boxes, I work closely with KM to design what I believe is the best seal coating unit on the market, a unit designed by a contractor for contractors. Learn more about the unit and to see a walkthrough of the entire unit by visiting kminternational.com.
If you're serious about efficiency and performance, listen up. The Crafco SuperShot 125 is not just a melter, it's a strategic pavement maintenance advantage. Quick startups, fume-free, automatic agitator shutoff, a splash-proof lid, and pumping on demand, these features are essential for any serious asphalt maintenance contractor. So don't settle for mediocrity. Elevate your game with the Crafco SuperShot line of melters by visiting crafco.com today.
In my opinion, Dynapac CC900G roller is the best roller on the market for driveway and small parking lot paving contractors. The seismic technology in these rollers is unbeatable for the smoothness and compaction they provide, and I'd choose the Dynapac CC900G over the little yellow roller that you're used to seeing every single time. But don't just take my word for it. Check them out in person at Pavex and World of Asphalt, or visit Dynapac.com to find a dealer near you.
Hey Blacktop Banter fans, this is Michael with Aquaphalt. Say goodbye to potholes and roadway damage without the need for large crews, heavy equipment, or toxic chemicals. Aquaphalt is the only permanent repair material for asphalt and concrete that uses water. And installation is simple. Just pour, add water, and tamp. It's that easy. An Aquaphalt repair can be open to traffic immediately and fully sealed within 24 hours. Plus, the product is backed by a 3-year warranty and made in the USA. Visit aquaphalt.com. That's AQUAPHALT.com to learn more.
In the past year, Jobber has been our CRM of choice at Wiscode, and it's made our world exponentially better efficiency-wise. The request to quote and quote to invoice process is seamless and professional. The scheduling aspect keeps us on point and the team leaders moving throughout the day from project to project, while the timesheet feature tracks the team members' hours. For our small seal coating company, it has helped build the solid foundation we can scale from. Jobber is now a sponsor of Blacktop Banter and helps bring this show to you. With this partnership, Jobber is offering an exclusive savings to BB listeners of 20% off for 6 months. To take advantage of this, find the Jobber link in the show description and get to improving your process today.
Hi contractors, it's Kyla from Wiscode. We use Stencil Plus for all of our pavement marking stencils. Alphabet letters, numbers, directional arrows, handicap markings, you name it. We use it and we get it all from Stencil Plus. Right now, for a limited time, you can save 10% on your stencil order by using code BB10 during checkout at stencilplus.com or by calling 877-372-6055.
Contractors, you need to make it easy for potential customers to reach you. Get a custom phone number from the 800 Pavement Network and plaster it on the side of your trucks and rigs, and I guarantee you'll see increases in leads and jobs booked. Get yours by calling 1-800-728-3636.
Yeah, he was just like driving around the neighborhood looking for work or whatever, and he drove right by, and we just got chit-chatting, and I was like, yeah, I just graduated with a marketing degree, been looking for a job. And he was like, well, I'm looking for somebody to basically manage all his social media accounts.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, yeah. So I started off basically as a social media marketer. And when I was in school, I learned in my social media marketing classes, like content creation that's the main thing with social media marketing.
For sure.
So ever since I started, they took me in with open arms, and ever since I started, we've just been ramping out, trying to get as much content out as possible, different kinds, seeing what works.
Well, you got blessed because you had Michael who was like, dude, I don't know anything. I just want to do it. So whatever Seth was going to say to do, Michael's like, yeah, I'm in, sure. It's way better than what we were doing already. What's fun is when you get to tweak it a little bit, like you were talking about, Seth. Like, you guys go back and look at my early shit. Now you understand why I was embarrassed as shit. Especially if you go to the Wiscoat YouTube page and you see my early stuff for Wiscoat. Dude, it's a joke. But the early Blacktop Banter stuff, even now, I'm like, dang, I'm a little corny. But I was 5 or 6 years in on the Wiscoat side at that point. And now, I would love to say we have it figured out and we have the swagger and the style and everything finally locked in. But I don't know for sure. It changes a little bit. But it's fun when you are having fun doing it, too. Like, that reigns through. If you get out of your head and you're just having fun, like, that's when the best content comes out. And it looks like you guys got over that hurdle really early because I want to go paving with you all. I don't even want to cut. I don't even want to cut. I don't even want to get paid. Like none of it. I just want to go paving with you guys, and I want to be like, it's immaculate. It's raining out, but we don't give a shit. We're putting it in, baby. We're getting the trucks here. Like, I'll come out there. Where are you guys located at? If I remember right, is it Pennsylvania? Okay, cool.
We're outside of Philadelphia. Outside of Philadelphia.
Cool. Cool. I got a huge connection in Philadelphia. I should meet you. I should introduce you guys. Really good friend of mine. Yeah, for sure. We'll all go out. All right. We'll talk about that after the show. All right. So, all right, Michael, what do you love most about making content so far?
I just doing it. It's fun because like when you're out on the job, it's work. You're working.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not great, but you gotta be happy while I do it. Working is like a form of worship in God, I'll say. So I like doing it to have fun, and then on top of it, with the cameras in my face, I'm like, man, I gotta be happy all the time. I've been happy all the time.
Yeah.
Like my brother Eddie would come out, and me and him would always like argue because I don't know.
That's how every single brother ever in history. That's what happens. Right.
So when he comes out now, I'm like, he said, dude, you're a whole new person, he tells me. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's a good thing, too. I mean, you don't really know what's going to happen in life. You get going on one way, and then something happens, and then it starts to be who you are. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a badass seal coater. I'm probably one of the best ever.
All right.
Let's go.
Right?
Woo!
I'm an okay paver, which is fine, right? But I can guarantee you in this space, nobody can come at me in the podcast and asphalt social media content creation space, right? I'm the best, right? So I would have never known that, though, if I wouldn't have ever tried this. And if I would have stayed boxed in how everybody thought I should act, I would have never tried it. Then I wouldn't be sponsoring NASCAR trucks at races, right? That's badass. We totally get to do that.
That's awesome.
Right? This past summer, I went to LA and consulted on a movie where a guy's doing line striping. That shit would have never happened, right? And the actor, everybody knows.
Awesome.
So all this stuff happens by you coming out of your shell and you putting yourself out there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's scared a little bit. But I'm sure I'm not the first person to be like, damn, Michael, you're loud as shit. Like, you talk loud, you fill up the room, you do whatever, and that tells you right away, like, oh, I'm too loud. Oh, I should do this. But then you got guys like me who are like, no, I like it. Like, I like that Michael's loud, and that every time I flip that page, like, there's always some quote with, like, some soft music playing, and then I flip one thing, and it's like, here we are today. We're doing it, baby. It's going on. I'm like, yeah, that's what I was looking for. Screw all the negative news and all that shit, and here we
There's
go.
a lot of them.
There
you
is.
just gotta push through it. You gotta be happy.
Yeah, I really like your outlook though. When you keep talking about scripture, like you're like, you know, we're glorifying God with our work that we're doing with our bodies. Well, also your brain, your mouth, like everything was created by God. So even the content you're creating now is showing off one of God's creations. And to be honest with you, to me, that's just I'm gonna give you a compliment right now. That's just as glorious as looking at a beautiful mountain going up into the sky in front of a lake that God created. Because for me, like that takes my breath away and gets me excited. But this also gets me excited because I'm like, dang, these boys are cutting loose. And it's about time we all start to cut loose and do what we do and do it really, really well. So going back to your story a little bit before I ask you the last and final questions, you were talking about your great-grandfather doing it. Like, that dude at least stuck with it. Like, that's what he decided to do and get with it and sent this trajectory, right? So you're like, I'm not really sure, like, if he didn't do it well or didn't do it hot. I know my great-grandfather did it some, but I don't know necessarily that he did it well or what all the stories were. But I know my grandfather did it, and I'm fortunate enough to have one contract that he had signed when he sold a paving job from 1976. And it's hanging at our office at Wisco. I found it in an old pile of stuff. Yeah, and then my dad was 12 years old when his father died, which is, you know, he had a heart attack, which is common in my family and in our culture and our bloodline. And he started working, doing seal coating, paving, doing whatever he could do. And then, you know, I was the first one to graduate in my family too, graduate high school, and went for computer science, which I hated. And then I took a class at University of Wisconsin, just a 2-week certification course for maintaining asphalt surfaces, and then showed my work after that. And that's when things took off. But if I wouldn't have done it, if I wouldn't have put myself out there like you guys are, it would have never led to this, right? So I enjoy seeing you guys do it, and the story that it's 4 generations away and here we are is very, very cool to me. And I would encourage you to keep going. I say that to everybody. Keep going and go all the way, because, listen, man, if somebody was going to talk shit enough to stop you, they would have by now. So that didn't happen. You don't got to worry about that. You're always going to have people that are going to talk shit in some capacity, one way, shape, or form or another. But we're all geared and have this itch to do what we're supposed to do, because that's where God wants us to go. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. So for Seth to be doing his marketing thing, get his degree, Penn State, and get done with that, and then be at home the day that you're driving around, and it's been on your brain that you want to do some marketing and whatnot at Michael's Paving, and you two to connect, you guys know as well as I do, isn't just circumstance. That's not how the universe works, my friends. So I want to ask you from here, you're having fun with it. It's growing. It's fun to see the views and the numbers go up and whatnot, right? It's cool to get asked to be on Blacktop Banter with Marvin, which is fantastic. Yeah. It's the best podcast in the asphalt industry. The best, baby. Yeah. Let's go. What do you guys hope it does? Like, where do we hope this goes from here? Because I invited you guys to some conferences and stuff. I want you to kind of see that side of it too. But what are you hoping where it goes and what it does from here?
I really don't know. I don't know. I'm just
it's good.
Enjoying it.
Wherever it goes, enjoying the ride. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I'm enjoying it. We
Seth,
got different camera angles now coming out, POV vlogging stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So we're enjoying it.
Dang.
I'm enjoying it. That's
Seth,
all
what about you, Seth? You're the strategist, I'm gonna say. Yeah. So I want to know, like, you're doing something. It has to have a purpose to do it. Whether it's a camera shot, whether it's setting up in a certain area, whether it's switching to the POVs and whatnot. What are you hoping, or where are you hoping it goes, and what it accomplishes on your end, being the medium man?
Absolutely. So the main thing, as I said before, with making all of our content is I really want to build trust and loyalty in our community and our customers. And with that being said, I really want to help grow Mike's business as much as we can and really push it out into the light, make as many connections as we can. I guess you could say I don't want to say it's been a slow start, but there's definitely a lot of things that I want to do for Michael's Paving that I have planned, like in terms of digital marketing strategies, traditional marketing strategies, but
yeah,
you know, it's all in the works. It's a little bit of it slowed down a little bit this season, but
that's cool. I think it's cool. You're a company man. I like that. Yeah, Michael, you got a good guy, buddy. You got a company man. Like he didn't
the
say
best
anything
guy.
about he didn't say anything like growing my portfolio. I hope it goes viral so I get some recognition or none of that. He was just like, dude, I want Michael to get more
Well,
business.
he is Michael's Paving. This is part of him too. It's all
Yeah.
business.
That's where he understands he's a company man. His success, Michael's paving success breeds everybody's success, right? That's what we do here too at Blacktop Banter and at Wiscoat. If Wiscoat succeeds, we all succeed. So very cool. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys for something real quick. Both you young bucks. It could be a piece of advice. I'm gonna ask each of you for this probably. Michael, it could be something that you learned or something that you heard from one of your elders or whatever. Seth, I want you to give me a piece of advice from the media side. But we ask for a piece of advice every time, something that we've learned along our journey thus far. Whether you're young, whether you're old, I believe everybody has something to learn from. Seth, I'm going to start with you. What is a piece of advice that you've learned so far on your journey here in the paving industry?
So as I've said before, trying new things is super important, and also adapting to new trends that you see. That's definitely a huge part of, social media marketing or even marketing in general, because, the internet has such a big influence on everything now that it's really important to stay on top of these trends. Because as we all know, asphalt industry it's a pretty old school
for sure
kind of marketing industry, but it doesn't mean that we can't sort of get a new generation of asphalters or customers,
totally
to notice what we do, and really, because I didn't really know anything about it, but now that I do, I want people like me to know as much about it as they can, as well as the our usual customers, I suppose. But
you
really
want to educate your customers, the community. Yeah, man. It totally makes sense. Great piece of advice. Michael, what about you, man? Like, what have you learned here so far? I know you've been paving for a while, but as of late, what have you learned? What's a good piece of advice?
I mean, lately, there's really been the same. Just do good work, try your best, and serve the Lord. That's about really all you can do. I mean, you do your best out there.
What's the script? Yeah, do all things unto the Lord, and all shall be given to you. Like that's pretty much where we go, right? I mean, let's do everything we do and glorify God, and everything will be given to you. There's a proverb. I'll send it to you now that I got your guys' contact. But I have it on my mirror in my bathroom when I wake up, and it's Proverbs. And I'm gonna paraphrase it because I don't have it memorized yet, but it's new, so I really want to. But it's something about in everything you do it unto the Lord, and your thoughts will be made reality. Like it's just what you even think about. If you do your actions now, you'll get delivered the things you even think about, right? Not even the stuff you pray about or whatever, but the stuff you think about. So it's really cool to see. Go ahead, send it.
Man shall not live by bread alone, but every word of God's mouth. I gibberish a lot, but that's meaning, everything you do means nothing. The only thing that matters is
you were bored, man. You were bored paving. You had plenty of bread. You didn't even need to do social media. You guys had plenty of work coming in and handle it. But you can't live by bread alone, right? You have to do works unto the Lord. Yeah, and that's why you had that itch, that inner thing of, Holy Spirit, conscience, whatever you want to call it, divine intervention of, man, I want to make content. Oh, here, I'm going to knock on Seth's door. What's up, bud? You want to make content? Yeah, sure. I got my degree in making content. Oh, cool. Well, let's go do this then and see where it goes from here. So, guys, I really, really appreciate you joining us today. It's been fantastic. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this podcast episode is probably the best ever.
Let's go!
It's a record breaker. That's what it's going to be.
It is. It probably will be a record breaker.
All right. Make this a record breaker.
We're going to have to, boys. We're going to have to. All right. So you heard it here. Michael's Paving doing their thing on social media. Be sure to give them a follow. Boys, where can we find you guys at online?
So we got an Instagram, Michael's Paving, TikTok, Michael's Paving. We just made a Twitter or an X account now, Michael's Paving. YouTube, Michael's Paving. Whatever social there is, look up Michael's Paving, and if you see the big, red and yellow M, that's
then
us.
We know it is. All right. So only fans, Michael's Paving. I got it. Every social, it's the best, baby. That shit's definitely hot, probably. All right, cool. All right, fellas. So You guys heard it here from Michael and Seth over at Michael's Paving. This is Blacktop Banter, of course. And as always, you can go to our website, blacktopbanter.com/BBSG, where we have the Blacktop Banter Success Group, which is filled with young entrepreneurs, older entrepreneurs in the asphalt industry. We meet 3 times a month on Zoom, talk about everything in business, hiring media men like Seth, or content strategy like we do here at Blacktop Banter, but we also talk about how to market, what pavers to buy, what seal coat rigs to use, what seal coat rig is the best, what spray tip is the best right now, what new equipment, also life things, how to handle dealing with your spouse while you're gone all the time, working from sun up to sundown because you live in the north part and you have to give your bread while you can get your bread. All those types of things. But also there's a vendor discount there as well. We have some of the leading vendors in the asphalt industry offering discounts to the Blacktop Banter Success Group members, a 24/7 chat group where guys talk all the time, the 3 calls, like I said, each month. I usually have a special guest. Next month we are having YouTube's premier mowing company, SB Mowing, Spencer B. He's going to be on there as our guest. The guy's got 7 million followers on TikTok, 1.7 million on YouTube. That's the type of stuff that we bring to Blacktop Banter Success Group, all for a small fee of $150 a month. Now, if that's something that interests you, please go over to blacktopbanter.com/BBSG or DM me or whatever, and we'll get you some information on that. On the flip side, when you go to blacktopbanter.com, there's a sign up for our newsletter. Please do that. There's articles written by contractors for contractors with word from our sponsors as well in that newsletter. And please, for me, go over and check out missionimpact.com. Mission Impact is a mission in Guatemala that I really have a soft spot in my heart for. We provide fuel-efficient stoves, clean water, and personal customized wheelchairs to young kids in Guatemala who can't afford those types of things. And as always, find us on Blacktop Banter on social media at Blacktop Banter, whether you're on Instagram or TikTok or wherever. I'm not on Twitter, boys, so the Michael's Paving guys are going to own that space without me being there, which I'm very excited for. We love to spread the love. So for myself here at Blacktop Banter, I've had a wonderful time talking with these 2 fellows. Guys, thanks again for joining me.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So for myself and these guys here from Michael's Paving, as always, this is Blacktop Banter, where we speak asphalt. Peace. Hey everybody, Marvin here from Blacktop Banter. And if you enjoy the podcast and what we've been bringing to the industry, you can support us through a one-time or recurring donation at blacktopbanter.com. There we have a support tab. You click that and choose your path from there. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please do us a favor and leave a review there for us as well. As always, we speak asphalt, and thanks for your support. This episode of Blacktop Banter is brought to you by Crafco, the world's leading manufacturer of packaged pavement preservation materials and equipment for the asphalt industry. Learn more at crafco.com.